Our next segment has a series of 3 interesting debates. The first to go is Dr. Chaitra Jayadev, Senior Consultant and Vitreoretinal Services from Narayanitra Institute, Bangalore, and she's also actively involved in editorial management, scientific publications, and translational research at her institute and beyond. She would be debating on distinguishing PCV from AMD, and ICGA is a must. And she is going to be countered by Dr. Sri Bhargav Natesh from Nitra Eye Hospital, Bangalore, another very eminent VR surgeon, and he is going to be telling us why OCT is enough. So we'll hear both of them and then the rebuttal. On to you, Chaitra.
Thanks, ma'am, and Dr. Srinivas for this opportunity. I'll be quickly talking about why we must do an ICGA to distinguish PCV from AMD. I have no financial disclosures. Now, we all know what ICGA is. Not many of us have access to it, but then I think we've learned enough and we know how useful it can be, especially because masking by pigments and bloods is minimized with the qualities and the properties that it has. We have a couple of imaging modalities, but the SLO-based system is much clearer, much better, and gives us better resolution. And the biggest advantage of ICGA is that you can study the choroidal vasculature, and you know that AMD basically affects that, and we want to know which the pathology is before we treat it. And a lot of us are confused when we look at the clinical picture. While OCT does help us, the biggest question is, why do you want to know the diagnosis? Whether it is AMD or PCV, you are eventually anyway going to give anti-VEGF. But we do have a lot of newer anti-VEGFs in our armamentarium. And we did have PDT till very recently. We have focal laser. So there is more, that ICG can offer than just OCT. Besides the AMD and the PCV that we're talking about, it has several other advantages in other conditions such as choroidal inflammatory diseases and tumors as well. So it's not like we can do away without ICGA. Now, we do know from many papers, this is a print that I've taken from a published paper, which says that the current gold standard for diagnosis of PCV requires ICGA. And in many practices, and increasingly so, it's not routinely performed. And that's the reason why we're having this debate. And that's the reason also for this consensus group on PCV, which has developed OCT-based diagnostic criteria. But, are we safe in just going by OCT? I don't think so. We can get into a lot of trouble. Let me just show you some cases to demonstrate that. More importantly, OCT gives us information only about the posterior pole, but we do need to look at the larger picture to ensure that we've covered all the bases. So this is a patient here. You can see a solid PED there. You can see SRF. But you can see that there is also fluid below the disc, and you can see fluid even below the inferotemporal arcade. So on the FFA and the ICG, which usually are complementary to each other, you can see the leakage of the macula, you can see the peripapillary pooling, you can see that the ICG has also revealed additional polyps with the BVN. Now, this is very interesting because the extramacular lesions are amenable to focal laser. It can also give us more permanent cure rather than giving them monthly anti-VEGF injections. Now, many a time, like I said, it's difficult to confirm the pathology. This is a condition, this is a patient where you can see solid PED, STREM, exudation, possible PCV. Again, the ICGA has confirmed the polyps, and you can treat this patient more conclusively knowing the diagnosis. This is another patient where this is the OCT picture. You can see a PED, you can see SRF, but what are we dealing with? If you can see the ICGA again, you see a large BVN with polyps there. This patient again was treated with anti-VEGF, a specific anti-VEGF, which we know is and also a patient underwent PDT along with it. So along with PDT and anti-VEGF, we get faster resolution and more stability. Let nothing go amiss. This was a patient presenting with posterior pole fluid, but then referred to us for ICG. Of course, we did see some polyps superior to the disc. But since FFA was also done, we saw very interestingly a smokestack sort of leak there. So this patient underwent both focal laser and anti-VEGF. You can see resolution of the disease quite well. Diagnostic dilemma, this was recently seen December 6th patient. This is the OCT finding. You don't know so many times what you're dealing with. But an ICGA confirmed the polyps and the patient underwent treatment just yesterday. So, of course, we don't have access to ICG. This is one other option that can potentially come in the future. This is a Swepsos OCT on-fast choroidal vasculography, which can probably be a substitute for those who don't have ICGA. Now, I'm sure my opponent is going to allude to this paper. We'll talk about the positives. I quickly want to point out what they say the limitations are. They say, this is a March 2021 paper, they say that ICGA will remain the best validated method of confirming PCV and likely to remain the gold standard. And the second important thing is that with treatment, some of the features of OCT may become altered. So ICG is a must as of now, because it's a more conclusive indicator of inactivity, whether it's regression of the polyp or absence of leakage. Confirming the diagnosis, especially in previously treated eyes or those with extensive scarring or hemorrhage, and sometimes to reclassify disease itself when you see a change in morphology or when they're resistant to current treatment. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Really, really very nice presentation, Dr.